When I first moved to the Philippines, everyone said, "You should get a maid. It'll change your life." But the idea made me uncomfortable. In the US, hiring help is a luxury for the wealthy. I worried about privacy, trust, and having a stranger in my space, especially with my camera gear and passport around. My apartment was my home, office, and studio. The thought of someone else there felt distracting. I valued my independence and quiet time. I imagined awkward silences and feeling obligated to entertain. So, I tried to do it all myself: filming, exploring, editing, plus laundry, groceries, cooking, and cleaning. The chores piled up. My apartment got chaotic, and my creative energy drained away. I spent more time worrying about dirty clothes than planning my next video. After a long trip, I returned to a messy apartment and an empty fridge. I was exhausted. All I wanted was to relax and edit, but instead, I faced hours of chores. That's when my friend's words echoed. "It will change your life." Maybe my fears were just fears. Maybe there was a benefit I was missing. I realized my attempt to manage everything alone was holding me back from fully experiencing the Philippines. I decided to put my worries aside and at least explore the option. I needed help, not just for convenience, but to actually enjoy my life here. So I made up my mind. I'd see what hiring a maid was really about. It was time to find out if this would be a mistake or the best decision I'd make. I took the first step. So I decided to look for help. But where do you start? In the Philippines, it's all about community and personal connections. I asked local friends and posted in expat groups. The advice was clear. Get a recommendation. Each suggestion came with a story, like, "This is Lorna. My friend is heartbroken to let her go." It wasn't just about hiring an employee. It was about welcoming someone into your home. After a few days, I got a message about Lorna. Kind, hardworking, with a decade of experience. Her previous employers wanted to make sure she'd be in a good environment. That level of care eased my fears about trust and fairness. I texted Lorna, introduced myself, and asked to meet for an interview. She replied warmly, and we set a time to meet at a coffee shop. What I thought would be a scary process turned out to be surprisingly human and reassuring. It was about people connecting, not just business. The search for help became a search for trust, and I was ready to take the next step. I was hopeful. The day of the interview, I was nervous. Lorna arrived with a kind smile and calm energy. We sat down, and my list of questions quickly gave way to real conversation. She told me about her kids in college and how her work supported their education. I learned that in the Philippines, helpers are called kasambahay, part of the household. The relationship is meant to be familial, not just transactional. Lorna asked about my work and why I was in the Philippines. She was interviewing me too. We discussed practical things, schedule, salary, daily tasks like cleaning, laundry, groceries, and simple Filipino meals. The salary was reasonable, and I made sure to offer benefits like SSS and PhilHealth. It was about fairness and respect, not just cheap labor. By the end, my fears vanished. I trusted Lorna. Her warmth and honesty were clear. I offered her the job on the spot. She smiled and accepted. We agreed she'd start Monday. I left the coffee shop feeling like I'd made a new friend, not just hired an employee. It was a connection I hadn't expected. I was excited for this new chapter. Lorna's first day felt strange. I was used to being alone. I tried to stay out of her way, but the quiet sounds of cleaning were oddly calming. She was intuitive, efficient, and needed little direction. My messy clothes were folded, the kitchen sparkled, and everything had a place. I realized I wasn't just paying for cleaning, I was paying for peace of mind. The biggest surprise was the food. I asked to try local dishes, and soon my apartment smelled of chicken adobo. For the first time, I had a home-cooked meal I didn't make myself. It tasted like care and like home. By the end of the week, the awkwardness was gone. We settled into a comfortable routine. I'd work on my videos, she'd manage the household, and we'd chat throughout the day. She shared stories from her province. I showed her my edits. My apartment transformed from a workspace into a real home. There was comfort, order, and a sense of belonging. I finally felt settled in the Philippines. The change was immediate and profound. I wondered why I hadn't done this sooner. Before Ate Lorna, my days were a battle against chores. After she started, everything changed. I had hours back for what I loved, creating content. My productivity soared. I made better videos, faster. The mental space was the biggest shock. My endless to-do list faded away. With Ate Lorna handling chores, I could focus on my creative projects. My health improved too. Instead of takeout, I ate delicious, home-cooked Filipino meals, sinigang, tinola, more veggies. I had time for the gym and felt more energetic. My apartment became a peaceful sanctuary, not a source of stress. Coming home was a relief, not a chore. The feeling of being cared for was new and amazing. My stress levels dropped, and I could recharge for the next adventure. It was a complete lifestyle transformation. The change was practical and emotional. I was happier, healthier, and more creative. Hiring help wasn't just convenient. It was life-changing. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. One unexpected benefit was how Ate Lorna transformed my travel. Before, leaving for trips was stressful. Cleaning, laundry, packing, and coming home to chaos. With her, I could focus on my adventures, knowing my apartment was in good hands. I'd return to a spotless home, fresh sheets, and food in the fridge. Sometimes she'd even leave a meal for me to heat up. Coming home felt welcoming, not exhausting. This support let me travel more spontaneously and for longer. I didn't have to rush back or worry about what awaited me. My apartment became a true home base, a sanctuary, not just storage. This stability made my travels richer and less stressful. It changed the way I experienced the Philippines. Living with Ate Lorna was a daily lesson in Filipino culture. Through our chats, I learned about family, sacrifice, and resilience. She became my unofficial language coach, helping me with Tagalog and local slang. My ability to connect with locals improved dramatically. The biggest lesson was about trust and care. She treated my home as her own, noticing every detail. This wasn't just a job for her, she genuinely cared. Our relationship became a partnership built on respect and gratitude. She wasn't just my maid. She became my ate, my big sister. I learned that even professional relationships can be filled with heart. It changed how I see work, trust, and community. Hiring help in the Philippines is different from the West. There, it's transactional. Here, it's personal and long-term. Helpers are part of the household, not just service providers. The relationship is built on loyalty and mutual support. For me, it meant peace of mind and time for my passions. For Ate Lorna, it meant a stable, respectful job. We both benefited. It wasn't about hierarchy, but helping each other. This system is more humane, supportive, and filled with community. Looking back, hiring Ate Lorna was one of my best decisions in the Philippines. It gave me time, freedom, and a deep connection to the culture. My fears faded, replaced by gratitude and friendship. The experience changed my perspective on life abroad. I urge other expats, don't let cultural biases hold you back. Embrace the local way. You'll be surprised how much it enriches your life. The Philippines is full of adventure, but the real treasure is its people. My apartment became a true home, and I gained a friend for life. If you're overwhelmed, Consider opening your home and heart. It's about more than hiring help. It's about building relationships that change you forever.